Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living.
And I'm Marie.
We hope everyone is having a great day. For today's video, we're going to be doing, it's almost an experiment, but it's a cooking video at the same time. But what I've got here, this is a Mylar bag that was sealed up back in February the 28th of 2013. And it's got 1 pound of pinto beans inside of it. So that makes this be 11 and a half years old. Okay, and so what we're going to do, I'm going to open these up. This is a Friday afternoon, and I'm going to go ahead and open them up today, this evening, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in some water and let them soak till tomorrow. And then we're going to cook these tomorrow and try them and see how they turn out. And we're just going to cook them basically about like we always cook regular pinto beans. And Maria, are we going to have them just as pinto beans with a little cornbread, or do you want anything to go with it?
I'm going to have some fried potatoes with mine.
Oh, okay, well that sounds good. We'll just call it a little meal then, be a little country meal. I have a regular bag of pinto beans out here because when I open these up, I want to compare the color to see how they look. But here we go, let's give these an open and see how they look. I'll put this white platter out here so we can hopefully see them better. And they smell just like pinto beans to me. You want to smell them, Ray? Okay. Let me just go ahead and pour them out so you can see them. Okay, and this is the oxygen absorber that I had in there. So we'll take this out and throw it away. And so, okay, let me get them up here closer. They smell like regular pinto beans to me. And as far as color, they are just a little bit darker than these that's in the plastic bag, but I don't think it's enough to make a difference. Do you, Marie?
I don't know. We'll see when we cook them.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to look through here real quick, make sure there's not any rocks in here, because pinto beans, especially a long time ago, used to you'd get a bag of them and you'd have to pick all the rocks out. But the way they process them now, you very rarely get rocks in your pinto beans. Of course, we don't eat as many as we used to years ago, do we, Marie?
No, there's just me and you.
Yeah. Now, I told my daughter Cynthia that we were going to be doing this, and she told me, she said, Dad, I want to come over and see them. And so she's going to be coming over tomorrow, and she may sample some of them with us. We'll find out. But she wants to see how they turn out. Okay, these, I don't see any rocks in them, so I'm going to go ahead and take them over here and rinse them off and get them ready to start soaking. The bad thing is this platter is very heavy, and so now I'm going to have to wash Marie's platter since I got it all messed up on her. Okay.
I've washed a lot of dishes today. I don't mind washing a few more.
Okay. Well, let me go here and rinse these off, and I'll be right back. Okay, got the beans rinsed off real good. Put them in this plastic container with some water. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some baking soda to the beans. This is supposed to help to make them cook a little more tender so they won't be hard. And I'm gonna put about 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, that's about 1/2 a teaspoon. And I'm just gonna drop it in there. Give it a little stir. Okay, and we will put the lid on, seal it up, let this set till tomorrow morning, and I'll put it out of the way here somewhere so that we can still work this evening. But let it set till tomorrow morning, then we'll come back on and we will start these cooking. How's that sound, Marie?
Sounds good.
Okay, and did you decide that you was gonna fix some fried potatoes to go with it?
Yeah.
I love fried potatoes, especially the way Marie fixes them. So we'll have that and some cornbread. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Okay, everyone, I'm back. This is Saturday, and we're gonna cook the beans today. They've been sitting all night long soaking, and you can tell they have released quite a bit of gas there from where they've soaked all night long. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them over here to the sink. I'll pour all this liquid off and then rinse them real good before I put them in the pot to start cooking them. Okay, I've got all the beans rinsed off. I'm gonna put them in this pot. Okay, I'm gonna add some water to it. And you just want to add enough water to cover the beans, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I think that'll be enough water. Then I'll add some, I'm gonna add 2 of these little chicken cubes to it. You could add more or you could add less. I'm just putting 2 in there today. I'm gonna also add a little bit of garlic powder to it. These are items that you would have in your pantry if you've been prepping. Also, I want to put some salt. And I'm not going to measure the salt, but probably maybe like a teaspoonful. Basically, you can do it to taste. But on pinto beans, you've got to have some salt in them or they're not going to taste good for you. And then the last thing I'm going to add to it, we had these in the freezer, and I took them out of the freezer last night so they could start thawing a little bit. But this is 2 ham hocks. You could use some bacon, or you could use bacon grease, or you could just use butter if you didn't have either one of the meats. But we like ours with some good ham hocks in there. And as this starts to cook, that ham will break into smaller pieces, and it'll really be good. So let me turn the heat on. Okay, I got the heat turned up on high right now. We want to keep it on high until it comes up to a boil, and then I'll turn it down on a low heat and just let it continue to boil and cook. We'll probably cook these for about 2 hours on the oven here. If you're in a real survival type situation, you may be outside having to have a fire and cooking on fire outside. But for today, we're using our gas oven. I'm just gonna cook them here on the top. So let me cover these up. These are gonna be cooking for at least 2 hours. And Marie said that she's gonna make cornbread today. I don't know if she's decided to make regular cornbread or if she's gonna make what she calls her hot water cornbread. But the hot water cornbread only requires cornmeal mix and water. You don't put any eggs, milk, or anything in it. So that's a real good bread to know how to make if you're in a survival situation. So let this start cooking, and we'll be back with you in maybe a couple of hours or so when they're done. And meanwhile, Marie and I, we're going to get ready and do our Sunday chat for Sunday. By the time you see this video, Sunday chat will already be over with.
Open up the window, I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold when the autumn leaves are playing chase. It puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us into gold when the autumn leaves are playing chase. It puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. I wonder.
Hey everyone, we're back. It's getting to be later in the evening. I've been cooking these beans for about, let's see, real close to 5.5 hours right now. I did test them at around 4.5 hours, and they just weren't quite as tender as I like them to be, but they have been smelling real good all day. They do taste good. They got a good taste to them, but they're just not as tender. But now they've cooked another hour, so we're going to do a quick test on them. Marie made some hot water cornbread, and I'll leave you a link to the video where she actually cooks this. But I think you made this, first time you made it was with Butterbeans, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And it's real good and tasty, and we enjoy it. And I've already got mine crumbled up here. I'm going to get us a little bowl, and we're going to taste these beans and see what we think about them. We decided not to do the fried potatoes today because it's starting to get a little late in the evening. But I'm going to get us some beans right quick. Do you want a piece of ham in yours, Marie, or just beans?
Just beans, please.
Okay.
That'll be enough right there. Thank you.
Okay. They're pretty hot.
That one mashed real good, looky there.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
I got a little small piece of ham with mine, Marie.
What we have found out with beans that are older like this, you definitely have to cook them longer, don't you, Calvin?
Yes. Normally, I would say, Marie, that normally a pack of pinto beans, if you cook them on the oven like this for 2 hours, they should be perfect, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
And so I did test them at 2 hours, and they were close, but they just weren't what I wanted them to be. So I kept cooking them. Now they've been going for 5.5 hours.
Yeah, if you're in a survival situation, you'd have to have a place that you could really cook your beans for a long time, wouldn't you, Calvin?
You would. You wouldn't be able to just cook them 2 hours. You could probably eat them at 2 hours, but they're just like I said, they're not going to be as tender. I did try using the baking soda on the beans when I soaked them, because a lot of people said use baking soda, it makes them more tender. And that might have helped, because there's no telling how hard they might have been if I didn't use the baking soda.
We have tried this once before, hadn't we?
We did this exact same experiment when the beans was 7 years old. The only difference then, we cooked them in the crock pot, and they never would get tender like I wanted them to. And so I was under the impression that the crock pot just didn't have enough heat to it to really cook them. And that was the reason this time I wanted to cook them on top of the stove, because they had plenty of heat and they cooked real good. But anyway, let me take one little quick bite here, if I can stand it. I know they're hot.
Yeah, Calvin does not like hot.
I can't, well, I've got dentures, and heat bothers me real bad, but
yes,
let me
I
try
can
it.
see why.
Yeah, let me try it. Marie, that's pretty doggone good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they got a little more tender since then, or every time I've been tasting them, you know, ahead of time, I've been just tasting of the beans. But this time I've got some of the soup with it and a little bit of that cornbread, and that reminds me of what pinto beans is supposed to be like. Let me try one more good bite.
Yeah.
How did yours do, Marie?
They were just a tad kind of gritty, but not very much at all. Nowhere near like it was before. So I'm wondering if they could even go another hour.
Well, I'm surprised at how good the taste is. They're tasting great.
They do have a good taste to them.
Yeah, and your cornbread is really delicious with them, Marie.
I am really particular on my pinto beans, but these are almost, I would say, you know, you could live off these for sure.
Oh, definitely. You can live off these.
I mean, it would be, I mean, you'd want other things with it, but I mean, it would keep you alive.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. They're better than I expected them to be. I was fully prepared to tell you that they just weren't that great. But these are pretty doggone good. If I was going to rate them from 1 to 10 and compare these to the ones that are fresh, that would just, you know, buy, I would say these are a 9 compared to the others being a 10. So they're that close.
Yeah.
So I got no complaints. And if these had been in a bucket for all them years, that's my timer. Let me turn it off. That was letting me know that my time was up. It's time to taste test. If I'd had these in a bucket all these years, and then all of a sudden I was having to live off of them and survive, I'd be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
The only problem might be if I was having to cook them outside, is keeping a fire going long enough to get them good and tender. And I definitely can tell a difference. At 2 hours, they did not taste anywhere near this good, but at 5.5 hours, they taste good.
Yep. They are really pretty good, I have to say.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Marie, for y'all that don't know her, she's a very picky eater, and if she's eating them, they're good. Am I right, Marie?
Right.
I got me one piece of ham in this bite here.
The only thing that is missing is some fried potatoes and some turnip greens. Or either slaw.
2 thumbs up. That was good. That little piece of ham was real good just then. And that was some ham hocks that we had actually bought those ham hocks last year for New Year's dinner, I think. And so they've been in the freezer for 9 months.
Yeah.
And this is very good. I'm surprised. My phone's ringing. Let me see who it is real quick. It's my daughter. She was supposed to be on her way coming over here. I'll call her back in just a minute. Okay, I think it's, I'm surprised how good they are.
Yeah,
And so,
when we get off of here, I'm going to cut me up a little bit of onion.
Yeah. And like I said, we probably, if I realized it was going to be this good, I would say, Marie, go ahead and cook those potatoes to go with it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and eat the rest of this bowl of beans. I'm going to eat the whole thing. But okay, so let me go ahead and close the video out. This was basically just an experiment video to see how these beans were going to taste. Like I said, they've been in our storage buckets out there for 11.5 years. And I really didn't know how good they were going to taste, but surprisingly, they're really good. And so definitely you could survive on these without any problems at all. So we'll be doing some more prepper cooking videos, won't we, Marie? We've got 2 or 3 that we want to do, but we have to work them in with our regular eating too at the same time. But hope you enjoyed this. At least if you've been storing up beans and rice, you'll know that you can depend on them. They'll be there for you. You may have to cook them a little longer than you expect, but that's probably normal for something that old.
Yeah.
Okay, Marie, do you have anything you'd like to add to this? I appreciate your help today. The cornbread's great.
Okay, and I hope that y'all understand that we stored these in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber.
Yeah.
And this is our 11-year-old experiment.
Yes, it is. And, if I'm still living when those things get to be 20 years old, I think I'll cook another pound of them.
You'll probably have to cook them then. For every year they're a year old, you'll probably have to cook them an hour.
Oh, okay.
You'll probably have to cook them 20
Yeah.
hours then.
Well, let's see, I'm 72 now. I tell you what, when I turn 80, I'll cook some more again. We'll see how they turn out then. But we appreciate y'all watching this video. Hopefully it gave you some good information that you can use. And if you are prepping, just do what's best for you. That's what we recommend, don't we, Marie?
Right. And we really are not long-term preppers. We're
No.
more just short-term.
Right. But we did do this, like we said, 11 years ago.
Yes.
And so if you're going to put them away, you might as well check them every once in a while and make sure they're still good.
Yeah. The most important thing is prep for a job loss or something other like that, because if you lose your job, or in fact, we had to live off of our supply for a whole year. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
we sure did. Yeah. And I think I've told that story before, but we lived off of our, not our long-term, but our short-term supplies. We lived off of them for just a little over 9 months.
Right.
Okay, Marie, I'll let you close the video up for us. But
Okay.
thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great week.
And y'all do what you love and love what you do, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Y'all have a great weekend.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall.